friends, Trimbley Method. We're working on the book Wellness Simplified. And I like you traveling along with me as I create this book. One reason is I can highlight A.J. Harper's book, Write a Must Read. So if you're thinking about writing a nonfiction book, you must get that book for yourself. I am up to the point now where I've got a lot of content written. I've got teaching points. I've got some stories about my own personal interactions with people, and then there'll also be some research I'll need to do. I've already begun to discover what I need to research on to give me backup to what I'm thinking. This week I was able to do 2 interviews with my ideal reader, and I'm just assuming they're an ideal reader, but they are in the situation that I'm highlighting in the book. They're somewhere along the process of discovery. So you remember, Wellness Simplified is written for my leaders and high achievers who want to stay on top of their health game, but because of the overwhelming and often conflicting information out there, they end up doing nothing. Meanwhile, it's those around them who just want to connect with them. And while they are 10xing and super achieving and running marathons, it's really those around them that are just interested in them pausing and slowing down and being the leader for them that they expect them to be. My promise by the end of this book is that you will regain the time formerly spent on health hacks and researching. That is my promise for you, is that you will regain the time and spend it with those around you whom you lead and who love you. I interviewed a woman named Cheryl this week. Now, all of my people who I interview, they must be entrepreneurs. And this is why. Entrepreneurs are a different sort of person. I love small business owners, and I love the challenge of small business. I've been living it for 33 years. So Cheryl has been in the corporate world. She has been in her own business, and I'm going to tell you some key things that she said to me during our interview. Some of my questions are, now remember, I want to keep things general at first before I drill down, just to keep the conversation relaxed and get the thoughts flowing. So most of these people that I've started to interview, the first thing I say to them, what is it that you love about your business? And that gets them thinking and gets them relaxed. And then I ask, what challenges you about your business? And then I ask, what is your exit plan? So your exit plan, for those of you that are not small business owners, is what happens when you're in it for 33 years and you want to slow down? Did you think of that at 25 years about incorporating somebody? Did you think about, I have to set this place up to sell? What are you thinking? Are you just going to shut the doors and walk away? That just doesn't happen. And so far, the answer is no, I don't have an exit plan. So other questions are, what frustrates you about a health regimen that you have embraced? If you stopped or started a health regimen, what changes did you notice? How did you feel prior to that change? How did you feel after you implemented it? What changes have you made in a health habit that defy conventional medicine? You guys know me. You read Stealth Health. You know what I think about the conventional medical model. It's bullcrap. Am I allowed to say that? Yes, I can. It is bullcrap. It is designed about getting more people in it, more people to use it, more sick people, so they can create more profit, and to the detriment of the community. Remember, I love small business. I'm all about profit. Profit is we can't sustain a small business without profit. And that's what our employees rely on. That's what our consumers and our customers and our patients rely on. That's what pays the power bill. We must have profit for health in a small business. But when you have profit to the detriment of your own customer, that is inhumane. That's a tirade for another day, though. You can read my book, and I say it in a much calmer manner, and with supportive research, of course. So let's see. So with Cheryl, this was a great conversation because some of the things that came out directly support the promise. For instance, she spoke about a recommendation I made to her, just a casual recommendation about a specific supplement. And it made an instant difference. And it's easy enough that when she eats a meal, she just has to take one of these supplements at the same time, and she doesn't have the problem she had before. She said it's so easy. Whereas another supplement she had tried, she needed to take it 30 minutes before a meal. And what she said about that is that I don't know what I'm going to eat. I just don't know. I don't have the forethought to take something 30 minutes before, and I don't eat 3 times a day. So that was super cool. She talked about making it easy, which Wellness Simplified is all about that. It's all about time. Then she talked about certain health hacks or recommendations she had gotten where it was a 45-minute every day. She said, you got to shorten this stuff down. That's what she said. She's a mover and a shaker. She's making a difference in people's lives. She says, you got to shorten this stuff down. I don't have 15 to 20 minutes every day. She also talked about books. Now, I know we're writing a book here, and I want people to read it. I want them to finish it. I want them to follow through and see a transformation and then tell others. That's my game. But as Cheryl puts it, people don't want to read. They don't want to read more than, what did she say? 40 words. They want you to tell them. Like what I do with videos in my other YouTube channel with Tremblay Chiropractic. We have over 400 videos because I know if I hand a piece of paper to somebody with exercises on it, the chances of them actually doing those exercises are very slim. But if they can watch me do these stretch and do the exercise and follow along for 5 minutes, they can do that. Watch and listen and do. So another one of Cheryl's quotes is, how do you fit into the world we're actually living in? How do you fit these things into the world we're actually living in? Not another world, the ideal world where we all have time to take an Epsom salt bath every night, and we all have time to walk 10,000 steps, and we all have time to eat whole foods. I mean, that's what I'm all about. But how do we make it fit? That is the key. And what I realize is that it's not that we're failing at wanting to be healthy, it's we're being handed instructions that don't fit into our life. Or if the instructions do fit into our life, it's something like eating 5 blueberries a day. That's a thing. And I'm not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm just saying that's a thing that people are told on the internet and they do it. Not good or bad. And because I'm targeting my high performers, and Cheryl specifically was talking about an appointment that she had recently, and it was for a health issue that is very beneficial, and to me it's a needed thing, and she's benefited from it. It had to do with her eyesight, but she put off the appointment 3 times, and she knew that she would benefit from it. But she said, I'm in this job, or I'm in this home life, or I have these options every day, and I'm picking what's important right now. And so she said to me, like, in my mind, I was thinking I had to change that appointment again for the 3rd time. What's more important, what I'm doing right now, or a possible future? And she chooses what's right now. And so she kept canceling and rescheduling, but this is my reader. This is what's going on in their real life. So that's why these interviews are so fascinating for me and so fun, is because this is who I'm writing to. I have to address this stuff. And I might not have the cure or I might not have the cure or the solution as I'm standing here talking to you today, but I bet you I could figure it out. See, and another thing that she talked about was the hamster wheel of healthcare advice and wellness advice. It just goes round and round. I'm not sure of the right thing. There's so many things, and that's so true. I was looking back at some of the recent videos I've done, and I talked about fasting on one of them. And a friend of mine the other day said she had heard a podcast where the authority being interviewed said, well, fasting's really not that great. My response was, but who? Which individual are we talking about? What's their genealogy? What's their background? What is their life? What is their physiology? What's their chemical makeup? Because we are all so unique, especially the melting pot of America. You never know what part of your background, what genetic lineage your physiology, your chemistry is working with. You don't know. So how do you know what's the best thing for you? We are going to solve that riddle together. Be well. Bye for now.